We are the painters of our world. We are creators. We decide what goes.
Welcome to the Educate.Elevate.podcast. I'm your host, Danny Morrison. Today, we're diving into a topic that could seriously change the game for your college journey. Chances are you've never heard the term equitable placement before, but it's been giving hope to California's community college students. For many years, high school grades in English and math have been a major hurdle for many students. Often these measurements can be biased and don't accurately reflect a student's true skills and abilities. Students have the right to enroll in college-level English and math courses at their local community college without taking a placement test or automatically being placed in classes that are below college level and do not count towards your degree, certificate, or transfer to a four-year university. That's right, you can jump right into those classes and get started on your degree or certificate. This means you can save time and money by avoiding unnecessary and non-transferable courses. It means you can focus on the classes that actually matter for your future. And it means you can have a better chance of achieving your goals faster. The results, for students just like you, speak for themselves. In the past couple of years, Black and African American community college students have seen dramatic increases in transfer-level completion rates in both English and math. This has also more than doubled the percentage of students who earn their certificate, complete an associate degree, or transfer to a four-year institution within their first 2 years of enrolling at a community college. California's community colleges stand for hope and opportunity. And by eliminating unnecessary hurdles, they're giving all students a real chance to reach their full potential. Today, we're going to break down exactly how this works and how it is leveling the playing field and creating a brighter future for students just like you. So, let's get right to our first guest. Our first guest is Pam Haynes, a member of the California Community College's Board of Governors. She has more than 25 years of experience guiding and serving higher education institutions. Pam, thank you so much for being here today.
It's my pleasure.
Can you explain equitable placement in basic terms?
Absolutely. For 15 plus years, the colleges had developed an assessment test for placement in English and placement in math. What they didn't realize, and it was really kind of to keep students out because they felt like they weren't prepared. So they didn't look at coursework, they didn't look at GPA. They basically said, oh, we're going to give them a test and we're going to determine what they're going to do. But it wasn't a predictor of whether or not the student was going to be successful in math or English.
Right.
It wasn't connected to that at all. It means that if they test poorly, they could be 4 levels below. What does that mean? It means that they have to take 4 developmental courses. What does that mean? 4 semesters of developmental math or English.
So why is this so important?
Because equity means that all students can begin their college on an equal playing field, a level playing field, that they do have the abilities to be successful in these classes. And the data has shown us that that is indeed the case.
So what have the outcomes been then?
Every student group examined, and we're talking about Black students, Hispanic students, low income, disabled, adults over the age of 35, foster youth. They've all been successful in this course.
Wow.
Large numbers. And I want to give you a statistic. Black and African American students have seen dramatic increases in transfer completion rates, both in English at 78% and in math 250%.
Wow.
So that assessment test was a barrier to this kind of success. When you allow them to get the support they need when they need it, they can be successful.
Now, I understand some students are unsure of their ability to successfully complete transfer-level math and English classes. What do you say to them?
What I will say to them is that they can do it. There are resources on our college campuses. There are faculty. There are counselors. There are supports that will wrap around them to help them be successful. And so they have to take advantage of that. And we have to make certain that we're telling our students that they're able to do this and be willing to help them get through those tough areas where they're not as comfortable. One of the biggest challenges that we have is students feeling like they belong. That sense of belonging is critically important. It's about finding community on campus. And what I'm hoping as we continue this work, that faculty understand that piece too. Because I'm a person who didn't like so much math, okay? But getting the help one needs is critically important to the success, especially for STEM students, because calculus is critically important for moving forward in their fields, and that's where they need that support.
What about those who have been out of school for 10 years and are coming back to continue their education?
So equitable placement means everyone has the opportunity to succeed in their educational goals. We have adult learners who are coming back at the age of 35, 38, 40. They want to move into a field. So yes, everybody is welcome, and the resources is for everyone.
So does all of this really save money and lessen the time it takes to get a degree?
You're spending money and time taking those courses. I've been known to say, and I've been quoted, time is a killer of dreams. And especially for our students. They're working, they have families, they have all kinds of other obligations. We've got to make it easier for them, and we got to make it affordable for them. So the answer is yes.
Time is the killer of dreams. Well, Pam Haynes, thank you so much for joining the Educate.Elevate podcast today. We appreciate your time.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the time with you as well.
Our next guest is Dr. Rob Rubalcaba, but his students call him Dr. Rob. Dr. Rob is an associate professor at San Diego City College and is known for finding new and creative ways to teach math to his students. Prior to San Diego City College, Dr. Rob even worked as an applied research mathematician with the U.S. Department of Defense for 9 years. Dr. Rob, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Let's start by getting to know a little bit more about you. Tell us about your background and how you ended up in higher education and teaching math.
I'm going to start my education journey off in Lemon Grove. I don't know if you're aware of the Lemon Grove incident. It's the one of the precedents to Brown versus Board of Education. And so I was born in Lemon Grove. I started my journey in education really excited about math. I ended up encountering gang violence when I was in high school. So I stopped going, and I ended up getting a GED at continuing ed, and then I started San Diego City College after that, and then transferred to SDSU. My goal was to teach high school. I ended up getting into research and going to graduate school, so I went on to Auburn University.
You teach math at San Diego City College. What math class do you teach, and what kinds of students are enrolled in your classes?
I teach all kinds, calculus, statistics, all students. We teach the top 100% of everyone. So we have the amazing community members from Southeast San Diego. Also, that's where I'm from. So I love teaching students where I'm from.
I love that, top 100%.
Top 100%, that's right.
So how do you connect with your students, and especially those that think that they aren't good at math?
When I start my class off, I'll ask students, how many of you, either someone told you or you told yourself you're just not good at math? And you see all the hands go up. And then I ask them, how many of you are into music or hip hop or dance or photography or anything else, just to ask them what they're interested in. And then I'll have a chance to say, you know what, well, rather than tell you, I can show you. So we can take something like a record. So a record this is a 12-inch record. They also come in different sizes, like a 45 RPM. So this is called a 7-inch record or a 45 RPM record. And so then what I'm going to do is I'll ask students to maybe get their apps out for one of those sound recording apps to see what they're listening to. And then I'll ask them to go ahead and tell me what they're listening to. And so I'll play it. And I'll ask them, does your app pick this song up? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, who is it? Do you recognize it? And you recognize it.
Absolutely.
All right. So what are you recognizing about it?
It's slow. It's Beyonce irreplaceable.
It's Beyonce irreplaceable, but it sounds a little slow, right?
Absolutely. BPMs are a little slow.
The BPMs are a little slow, and Beyonce is sounding her voice is sounding a little stretched out, right? But can we quantify exactly how much slower? So when we're talking about samples in hip hop, we can do things like adjust the speed. So we can make this faster. We can make it slower. Right, and so some samples are sped up, some samples are slowed down. For example, Far Side record, this is at 87 beats per minute, and the Quincy Jones sample was at 82. Mm-hmm. And you can't just add 5 to 82 to get to 87. What you're able to do is control the percent. So you could speed it up, you could slow it down. But if you wanted to mix the two together to see exactly what Farside was doing with Quincy Jones, you'd have to solve a math problem. So you have to get in there and actually work with percentages and actually solve and do a long division problem, which when were you ever motivated to do a long division problem?
Right.
And then it's like, oh, okay, now I'm curious. Now I'm interested.
I noticed how excited you got as soon as you do your presentation. So all students have the right to enroll directly into transfer level English and math. Is this a game changer? And tell me why.
Oh, it's definitely a game changer. If we think about like how math is normally taught, like I learned math with cash, right? I learned math with coins and dollars and something physical. And so I was always doing arithmetic. And, our generation of new students, many of them don't ever touch cash. They're using apps and everything. And so rather than saying, well, our students are just not number literate or it's just hopeless, like they're just not good at numbers. Well, we need to find a different way of relating the math to them because they have problem-solving skills, right? They're amazing, incredible students. They just need to have the right motivation. And if you just stick with that same classical motivation of what motivated you as a teacher, it might not work, right? And so I think the big impact of this new way of what I'll call starting at the starting line rather than starting way back. If you're struggling multiplying two numbers together or working with fractions, you might be labeled as someone who needs to spend years in other courses before we even start. For example, if you're interested in being an engineer or computer programmer, is that extra 2 years going to keep you even from wanting to stay in college? Are you going to run out of financial aid with the right motivation and the right encouragement and the right support? You can start anywhere, and the real goal is where you end.
It seems like students can sometimes get discouraged, feel overwhelmed, and just plain inadequate when it comes to math. What do you say to those students?
Don't give up. It's actually normal to be overwhelmed, whatever level you're at. Doesn't matter whether you're at in a course that's like pre-calculus or trig or calculus or even calculus 3. Like I was overwhelmed when I was a calculus 3 student. And I think it's important to share your struggles as an educator and know as a student that your educators struggled too. Maybe they didn't struggle in math. Maybe they struggled in a different subject. And I think a lot of times educators will only share their successes and only share their accolades, but not the struggles they went through. And I share the struggles. Every problem has a first step. And the cool thing about in my class, there's lots of different ways to approach the learning.
So what would you tell a student if he or she is placed in a math or English class that is below college level and does not count towards their degree or transfer to a four-year university?
So I'd say you have options to start at the starting line. You might have been told that you need all these extra classes, or you might feel that you need all these extra classes. One, I'd say don't let it eat out your financial aid, because I've had students who had to repeat some of those classes and just run out of financial aid when it came time to actually transfer or graduate. Yeah. If you have a chance to learn math through a different way, do something that's fun and exciting, hands-on, where you can like be folding things, or you don't have to be into music to be good at math. You just have to be excited about it. And so if you're excited about your career or goal, like that's what I would say to focus on is how long do you want it to be until you get to that goal?
So for students that don't have the opportunity to enroll in one of your classes, where would you send them to look for additional supports available?
So talk to your counselor. Resources might look different on your campus, but every campus has resources. Every campus has resources that you can go to.
And let's not forget, you can also go to icangotocollege.com.
That's right.
So do you have any final thoughts that you would like to share with the Educate.Elevate podcast audience?
there's no limits, right? There's no limits on what you can achieve. You told me that you're just not good at math at all. And over here, I see you solving a Newton's law of cooling problem, step 17, explaining it to your peer. Like, oh, come on now.
Wow.
Like, you are a scientist. You are a future doctor. You are a future engineer. You are a future computer programmer. You can be anything. And so when you design your classroom or for all of your different learning styles, all of your different learners, and celebrate them and support them, they are all going to shine like the stars they are.
Well, Dr. Rob, it goes without saying that you were very entertaining today. Thank you so much for coming on the Educate.Elevate podcast. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our next guest is Shay Dangerfield. Shay is currently a student at San Diego State University, where she transferred after starting her journey at San Diego City College. She is passionate about giving back to her community and is pursuing her degree in social work. Shay, welcome to the show.
Hi, nice to meet you.
So tell us about yourself. Where are you from? And tell us about life when you were younger and in high school.
Originally, you know what? I kind of say I'm from everywhere, military family, but I was born in Los Angeles, but my family is originally from Dallas. So we're considered the California kids. That's what I am. School to me was never kind of fun. Like, I never really liked it. And I think it was because I feel like I was never understood from the point of I had a learning disability. So I felt like, the teachers weren't paying too much attention to what I had going on, just focusing on the part that I wasn't getting what they were teaching. But I think it was a matter of them trying to figure out exactly how to teach me. In high school, I went through a lot of different things, like being picked on, being bullied. So it made me kind of like not love who I was. And then in high school, my birth mother was actually killed when I was in my last year of high school.
Wow.
Yeah, and my adopted mom is actually my aunt, so it was my birth mom's big sister. And so when that incident happened, like, I didn't know how to deal with my emotions or allocate them. So I got super, super sick. I got sick to the point where like my body completely shut down and I was in the hospital. Like, I was so sick, I couldn't even make it to my mom's funeral. And then when I got back, she was killed in December. We got back in January. School starts back in around January, February. Like, I tried to go back into school and I was not healthy enough. So I didn't actually make it back into school until March. By March, I was super behind.
So what were your high school English and math courses like?
English was cool with me because it felt like, I love to read. So English was very easy for me. And plus, I always got really good English teachers. Now, math is a whole nother language to me. I don't understand it. I never comprehended it. Like, I was just like, it's a waste of time. Like, I always felt like as long as I can count my money or I can do things like that, like I can do it. But math to me, like, a lot of times, like, I kind of just cheated my way through. Like, I would give with my friends, like, somebody help me, like anything, because I didn't realize what I had and didn't understand why I wasn't comprehending it or understanding it. So in high school, I just did what I had to do to get through it.
Now, you've told us about your experiences in high school with English and math. What about English and math at San Diego City College?
And they let me know that, hey, there's a new teacher teaching math. And I'm just like, what? I don't know. I don't know. So the counselor, she called me, who's always, like, I call her my spirit, my angel. She called me and she's like, hey, I got a new teacher for math. So I met Dr. Rob. He was really, really cool. And I was just like, all right, he seems cool. First day of class, we get there. I don't have anxiety about a lot of stuff, but I had anxiety about phys. Let me just tell you. So I'm just like, I took my English class and everybody's like, it's time to go to math. And I'm like, all right. So we get in there. The first thing that he does is he tells us, like, math is a language. And I'm just like, yeah, one, I don't speak and I don't get it. I ain't gonna never, I don't understand that. And then so I'm sitting there with all my friends and we all sitting there and my head is already down because I'm already feeling defeated. And then he puts on Beyonce, the countdown. And then so I'm just like, okay. So then he starts teaching us fractions and I'm not even paying attention to the fact that I'm actually learning through this. So I'm just like, oh, wow. And then he comes in with like really, really unique ways of teaching. Like one time he came in and he was teaching us like different fractions and different math problems with tortillas. So I was trying to work to get tortillas, but I was getting the more that you got your problems right or you went up to the board because like even with math, like I'm not scared to talk in front of anybody, but if you try to make me do a math problem in front of people, oh, no. But I felt so comfortable with him because it was just like, even if you were up there and you didn't get it, he's going to teach you up there how to get it. And then everything started coming together because I wasn't the only one that felt like I was struggling in class or anything. So my grade went from a C to an A, and I got the help that I needed. A thought in my head was never that I was going to get an A.
Wow.
Never. And never a thought in my head was that I was going to be helping somebody else with math. Now, that's the crazy part.
Dr. Rob is amazing. We saw firsthand. There are a variety of support services available to students in transfer-level English and math classes, such as tutoring and labs, etc., right? Mm-hmm. Did you take advantage of any of those support services?
I definitely did. Before there was Dr. Rob, there was the Math Tutoring Center, and I had a great tutor, Christina. Like she was another person that actually got the way that I learned math, and she taught me a lot of different ways. So I used the Math Tutoring Center, and it was a great experience because it was available. That opened up a new horizon for like the writing center and things like that. It's hard for me to ask for help. And when I need the help, it's just like, what do I do? So I'll just barricade myself and just fall down into a hole instead of asking. But now, because of things that, from City College, everybody needs help. Mm-hmm. So Disabled Student Services, the Math Tutor Lab, and the Writing Tool Lab, saved my life.
What is next for Shay?
There's so much in the horizon for Shay. For a while, I only thought that because I've been working in the foster care system for years, I thought that that's exactly where Shay wanted to be. But since I've been at San Diego State and found out, hey, I am a social work major, but then I found another, which is my minor, is counseling for social change. Ooh. So I found out that Shay wants to be a high school counselor.
Come on.
I want to prepare the people that are seniors or the kids that don't feel like they have anybody. I want to prepare them and let them know, hey, we can get you to college. We can get you to these things like I tell my kids all the time. I went to City College. I got accepted to 27 universities.
Come on.
And 7 of them was HBCUs. So I want to help kids because I did have that help in school. So that's the plan for me, is to make sure that I'm out there helping the future.
You said they need those people in the high schools, and you are going to be one of the people in the high schools.
Don't hold yourself back. Don't be the person that holds yourself back, because what I learned is it doesn't matter how long it takes you to finish your race. Just finish it.
Well, Shay, I appreciate you coming on to the Educate.Elevate podcast. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
And now it's time for another live performance on the Educate.Elevate podcast. This is the California Community College alum. You've got to check this out.
Hi, my name is Sky Palace. I'm an alumni of Santa Rosa Junior College, and I'm here on the Educate.Elevate podcast. I'll be performing my song, My Name, and I hope you enjoy. Sometimes I wonder if they care it out. Sometimes I wonder why they stare and call my name, my name, my name, my name. Don't ask where I'm from, 'cause the answer is right here. Don't ask what I am, 'cause I'm that boss you can't get near. Hey, don't call my name. Hey, don't call my name. Don't call my name. Don't call my name. Don't call my name, lest we on the same page. If you're coming my way, better have something good to say. If you're looking too hard, you better look the other way. Hey,
call my name. Don't call my name. Don't call my name. Don't call my name. My name.
I want to thank Pam Haynes, Dr. Rob, and Shay Dangerfield for being here today and for sharing their experiences with us. It's clear that equitable placement has been a game changer for California's community college students. More students have immediate access to the courses they need and the future they deserve. And, as research shows, not only are students reaching their goals faster than ever, but long-standing equity gaps are beginning to close as well. So, if you're a student, take advantage of this opportunity and don't let your high school English and math grades hold you back anymore. Now more than ever, the future of our state depends on your success. And California's community colleges are there to help you every step of the way. And if you're a student that is placed in a lower level English or math course, please know your rights. There are programs and support services available to help you every step of the way. You can do this. To learn more about equitable placement or some of the other programs available to help you succeed in your community college journey, check out ICanGoToCollege.com. It has a ton of information on everything from campus resources and student support services to financial aid, career training programs, and even tools to help you find a campus that's right for you. That's ICanGoToCollege.com. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep reaching for your goals. Don't let anything stand in the way of your future, because to educate is to elevate.
We are the painters of our world.